Maternal sculpture. This shape resembles a mammal appendage, but I have no idea what it actually does. It's dripping with what can only be described as beast drool. I can't blame the ship for not wanting to touch it. I don't want to touch it either. But I've got a duty to my mission, and sometimes a captain has to take one for the team. It could have been sucked on by a baby. You ever thought about that? Wait, actually, you're nothing like us humans. Extreme perspirator. What an odd doll. I can't stop squeezing it. I decided to market this doll back home as an exercise apparatus. People could work up a good sweat with this thing. The boss is fairly plump. I'll suggest he use it. I suppose it could be used for something like a punching bag? Maybe? Rubber ugly. The first time I laid eyes on this hideous treasure, I thought it was a giant aquatic monster. It took me several terror-filled seconds to realize that it's just an ugly statue. What a relief. I was ready to run all the way back to Hakotate. It's just a rubber duck. What is the big deal about it, huh? Alright, let's continue. Paradoxical enigma. I'm not just an intergalactic space captain, I'm also an artist. I see the inner beauty in everything. Some things other people call ugly and boring, I find intellectually stimulating and aesthetically pleasing. It's true. I'm sophisticated like that. Yeah, no doubt that's true. Silencer. The ship is noisy, but nothing compares to the boss's inane chatter. Blah blah blah. It never ends. He could learn a lot from this noiseless, disembodied head. Olimar, that's very disturbing of you to say. Louis' quiet nature was hard to adjust to, but now I've grown to appreciate the peace and quiet. Let's just move on. Wiggle noggin. I have a confession to make. I've become enamored with this object. I know I shouldn't fall for company property, but I can't suppress these feelings forever. These treasures are quite fascinating, so I don't blame you. Coil launcher. I tried flying this thing once, but it moved too rapidly and I contracted vertigo. Maybe it could be used as an amusement ride. The youngins would love it. However, I don't think I'll ever ride it again. Probably best if you don't do that. How could they even use it anyway? Like a slide, perhaps? If so, that's kind of a weird way to use it. Boom cone. Today we found the remains of a wooden construction engine buried deep under the surface. I can't imagine anyone on this uncivilized planet inventing anything. We'll have to wait until later to finish surveying this maze, but this place intrigues me. There may be something interesting to learn about this primitive object. I'm pretty sure that's used for fireworks. Flame tiller. Investigating alien objects provides me with an opportunity to solve new mysteries. For example, when I rolled this object, I discovered it's perfect for tilling land. Usually, I have the machine analyze the treasures we find, but sometimes I like to examine artifacts with my razor-sharp intellect. It's just a yo-yo, you play with it. Nothing really fascinating about it, though it can ease your boredom, if you are bored. Doomsday apparatus. Perplexing mysteries are often solved in unexpected ways. When I was studying this item earlier today, I was astounded at its unbelievable bulk. It was so heavy, I would have never been able to move it without my burly purple Pikmin. Later analysis indicated this thing is in fact some kind of heavy artillery. I cannot scramble my words. Mix the letters around and such. I gotta remember to read more slowly, and also, I'm pretty sure this is just useful for exercising. Aquatic mine. I've recently noted that changes in this planet's environment happen at a very rapid pace. Compared to how it was when I was here before, the perplexing pool has changed drastically. Due to frequent tectonic shifts, the region appears slightly different each time I enter it. It could be a natural phenomenon, but it's as if I feel the presence of a guiding hand. Maybe it's just my imagination running wild. Yeah, maybe. or it could just be evolutionary changes on the planet. Stupendous lens. I've never seen such a huge lens. It must have been designed as a nanograde magnifier by a hyper-advanced society of alien megabrains. Gah! This object is far too complex for even my superior scientific intellect to comprehend. Stumped, Olimar? Air brake. The weather was beautiful today. In this region, the weather is always good. Yeah, no kidding, because it never rains. The plants and animals thrive on all that sunlight. I want to hurry up and finish cataloging all of these treasures so I can get back to the sunshine. Sunshine is pretty nice on a daily basis. Worthless statue. At first, this object looked impressive, but closer inspection reveals it's just a cheap statue. In many ways, it reminds me of my father. I probably shouldn't tell him that. Wait, what did he say about the worthless? Oh, he said it was worthless. Oh boy. Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't tell him that. Best keep it to yourself. Priceless statue. This statue features an astounding degree of detail. It looks a lot like a present I gave my mom for Mother's Day. I miss her. Sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I too miss my mom. One of these days I will be spending more time with her. When I can find time to, that is. Boss stone. My long journey has led me to this compelling stone. During my quest, I've narrowly escaped being crushed, chewed, ingested, and scorched countless times. But somehow I persevered, and this stone reminds me of that. It's like it has a personality of its own. I like to take it back with me and place it in my garden to commemorate this expedition. Definitely a good thing, Olimar. You can use it to reflect back on your adventures that you had on the planet. Luck wafer. What a strange pattern. When I look at it, I can feel good fortune smiling down on me. If I could just buy a lottery ticket right now, I'm sure I'd win. I wish the same thing could happen to me, but nowadays, it's not very easy for you to win. In fact, before we go on, I would like to get into brief detail about this. So, yesterday being the last day of work before I was let out on Christmas break, one of my coworkers actually gave me 2 lottery tickets. It was kind of like a scratch lottery ticket kind of thing, in which I could win certain prizes. And when I finished scratching at the lottery ticket, I found out I didn't win. So yeah. You know what they say? Luck can be a lady. Sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes. All of the time, it's very difficult to achieve fortune unless you're incredibly lucky. And if I had to describe myself, I'd say that there's a very low percentage of my life and very little time in which I'm ever lucky. I would consider myself mostly unlucky. And that's my story on me and fortune. Talisman of life. Explorers strive, but fate decides. You could prepare and practice for an expedition, but there's only so much a person can do. Sometimes you have to put your life in fate's hands. I've come to understand this intergalactic truth while I've traveled to the farthest reaches of the universe. Fate and I are pretty close. That same concept can apply to just about anything. In fact, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Before recording, I get nervous, but sometimes I just remind myself to just do it and everything will turn out okay. And look where it's gotten me now. I'm actually happy. Strife monolith. Computers view the world in ones and zeros, but my people are different. Our world isn't simply black or white, right or wrong. Everybody is different. Maybe one day the ship will understand that, and maybe one day it won't give me sass when I ask it to collect a slimy specimen. Hopefully one of these days it will happen. Also, everyone is different. There would be times in which I wish people would be the same as me because there's some things I don't like about them. But then I come to realize that it would be a bad thing if that were to come true. It's best if everyone is different from each other. Chance totem. When I gaze at this stone, I can feel my fate being forecasted. It must know what's going to happen to me. I'm sure it sees that I'll be hailed as a brilliant, visionary, and brave explorer when I return to Hakotate. Keep that dream alive, Olimar. That can be used for certain things, by the way, to decide what's going to happen. Of course, the number one example I can think of are board games. Certain board games. Dream Architect. At night, I have nothing to do to keep me occupied. I've been searching for something to dull the boredom, but every time I find something I want to play with, it's broken. This object is a great example. It looks fascinating, but I can't get it to function. I guess all I have to do is write in this journal. Have you found a way to turn it on, perhaps? Or maybe the batteries is just dead. I don't know. At night when I go to bed, by the way, guys, I just mostly have my phone and watch YouTube videos. The same for my computer, even. Stone of Glory. This is a peculiar object. Just looking at it fills me with a powerful sense of nostalgia. Now that I think about it, the Pikmin had a curious look on their faces when they carried it. Or maybe that was just my imagination. Those old glorious gaming days. Glee Spinner. When I get near this captivating treasure, I can't stop myself from spinning it over and over again. I shouldn't spin such a valuable treasure, but it's so hard to have self-control. From now on, instead of actually spinning it, I'll just imagine I'm doing it instead. Wow, this is so much fun. Imagining that you're doing something is not as fun as actually doing it. Cosmic Archive. The cave we searched today was lined with flame-spewing spouts. The temperature in the cave was absolutely stifling. Oh, that reminds me, I completely forgot to tell Louis about Red Pikmin. He's so quiet, I sometimes forget he's even there. This item I salvaged from the cave seems to be some kind of storage device, but I have no way to play back the contents. Put it on a computer or something. Hard drive. Remember old buddy. Rob, for short. I can't believe I had the fortune to find this thing buried underground. It looks like a component of a huge mechanical doll. It looks just like a part from a robot in a cartoon I used to watch as a kid. How nostalgic. This futuristic machine makes me feel like I've traveled back in time. Certain toys can't do that to you. Just makes you grow fond of those past days. Find Gyro Block. Or Gyro. I'm just gonna pronounce it as Gyro. Since I landed on this planet, I've encountered countless treasures that remind me of my childhood. I wonder why that is. I think it's because the objects we're discovering look just like things I had as a kid. This is one of those items. I too have those items. But if I had to name one object that I had as a child that take me back to the days, and I do have the item now, it would definitely be my Game Boy. Game Boy Color, to be more specific. Such fun times the past. Memorable Gyro Block. The other day, I accidentally threw away my son's favorite toy. He wouldn't stop crying. Some things that seem unimportant to adults are treasures to kids. When I was a boy, I'm sure I felt the same way about my favorite things. Now, my family is my treasure. Aww. That's so sweet of you, Olimar. But, you might want to be careful with how you treat your family's belongings, more specifically, your children. Lost Gyro Block. When I observe this object, I can't stop myself from tearing up. I wonder why. It's hard to say, but it might be because some of these items remind me of the past. That's true for me too. In fact, even as I think about it, the items that I had when I was little, whenever I look at them again, it makes me cry a little bit. Mainly because I've had such an awesome childhood, and sometimes I just wish that I could just go back to those days and relive those moments all over again. Favorite Gyro Block. When I was a kid, I always wanted my toys to be blue. Blue is such a cool color. Olimar, let me tell you, I know exactly how you feel. Blue is my favorite color, if you guys didn't know. Finally, someone else who has an interest in the color blue. Thank you so much, Olimar. Thank you for appreciating blue. Thank you, Olimar. Just thank you altogether. Treasure Gyro Block. Yesterday, we ventured into a spooky hole. Previously, all of the organisms we'd encountered were massed together in one cave. Had I not divided the Pikmin by color and utilized their unique abilities, I would never have made it out alive. In memory of my daring adventure, I've named that hole the Hole of Heroes. That sounds quite daring. Proton AA. This object resembles the first treasure I found on this planet, so it holds a certain sentimental value to me. However, I've just noticed that the size is slightly different. Sometime I should take the time to read my previous treasure logbook. It's good to reflect on the past sometimes. Oh, so true, Olimar. So true. Speaking of that battery, how good is my Wii Remote? Let me check real quick. Okay, good. My Wii Remote is full on power. I just put in some fresh new batteries before recording, by the way, guys. So, I should be good for a little while. Durable energy cell. This cryptic item exhibits an unbelievable quantity of stored dormant energy. The civilization that created this must have advanced tremendously when it discovered this powerful new energy source. If I were to take the technology back home, how would it affect the future of Hakotate? In a positive way, I'm sure. Courage reactor. We've recovered our first treasure. Amazingly, the Pikmin remember how to salvage it. I can't understand their adorable language and I don't know what they're thinking, yet I'm so happy to see them. When I crashed on this planet, the Pikmin helped me locate my missing ship parts. In my darkest hour, the Pikmin were there for me. Now that I'm reunited with them, I know everything will be alright. It will, right? Of course, Olimar. Of course, we've already done this adventure already. In case you remember, or don't remember, the Pikmin 2 No Death Run, a complete success. And it took us 18 days to get it all done. Moving on, fuel reservoir. The ship has a lot of self-importance for a machine. Apparently, machines can exhibit human characteristics after all. Perhaps they even have a soul? If this is true, then maybe you can work them into the ground until their spirit is broken and they stop giving you lip. Oh no, I'm turning into the president! Yeah, probably best not to go further into that. Actually, come to think of it, I have to wonder, did it really take me 18 days to complete the Pikmin 2 No Death Run? I need to confirm this. One second, guys, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I am back once more, and I can confirm that it has taken me a total of 18 days, 18 game days, that is to say, to complete the Pikmin 2 No Death Run, so I was right in my assumption. Let's continue, shall we? Drone supplies. Yesterday, the ship accused me of sampling all of the food we've been collecting. That ship has a lot of nerve. But is it true, Olimar? I mean, you're constantly hungry. Patience tester. When I see a closed container, I cannot help myself. I feel like I must open it and see what's inside. Sorry, I had a quick burp. But when opening it, it could lose its value. I guess I'll just have to use my imagination. Oh, but come on though. Isn't it worth the discovery? You gotta have a look inside and see what's inside, you know? Could be even more valuable than you think. Endless repository. Everyone makes mistakes. Sometimes desire overpowers reason. At least, that's what I told myself when I sampled this salty snack. How'd it taste? Fruit guard. Oh man, that makes me thirsty. Gotta be sure to get something to drink after this is over. Among the treasures we've collected, many of them have strange scrawlings on them. Unfortunately, the alien writings are indecipherable, but the pictures can be understood easily enough. This one seems to have a picture of a fruit on it. If that's the case, then this canister must contain sweet nectar. A quick taste won't hurt. Just feeling thirsty. Nutrient silo. What a fascinating storage container. There's more food crammed in here than I could eat in a lifetime. Louis, however, yeah, I'm pretty sure he could eat all of that at once. Probably within the whole entire day. Can I just say, by the way, guys, that as I constantly look at this jar of peanut butter, that it develops a strange taste in me for some apples and peanut butter. I might get some when all of this is over. It's such a good snack. Stringent container. The ship's hull is so cluttered and disorganized. I wonder if we're actually finding new treasures or if we're just rediscovering old ones. That's an interesting thought. Of course, then again, to be fair, you've been discovering new treasures this whole entire time. Survival ointment. In a survival situation, the most important things are water, courage, and a first aid kit. I've got water and an endless supply of courage, but I don't have a first aid kit. Sometimes I don't have a whole lot of motivation either. I may be a daring explorer, but sometimes I just want to loaf around all day and sleep. Wait, what did the president read his journal? I never dream of slacking on the job. Yeah. Probably best for me to not have that feeling as well. As I look at this, I feel my lips are getting chapped. I need to find some of this when this is done. Healing cask. I'm shocked. I can't believe this is the only stock of medical supplies we've got. If one of us were to get ill or injured, we'd be in serious trouble. We'll have to be sure to watch our step and always wash our hands. We could also search for medicine among the treasures we've collected. Well, good luck with that. I think what's also important in an adventure is to have food with you as well. Abstract masterpiece. This is a truly heart-wrenching design. I've never been this moved by a piece of art. Every time I view it, I can't stop crying. The ship mocks me by squirting engine coolant at me, but it's obviously just jealous that it can't shed any tears. Oh, sick burn. Because it's a robot and it can't shed tears. Optical illustration. I've noticed that some of the objects we've collected have undeniable similarities. Perhaps these treasures were revered by an ancient civilization. I'm not really sure what to make of that. Kind of think of it, I don't even know what the word revere means, if I'll be honest. Thirst activator. How odd. When I gaze at this puzzling pattern, I have a vision of nature. At first, I thought this planet's ecosystem was alien and unnatural, but now I've learned to fully appreciate its beauty. However, it still can't compare to the stunning natural landscape of Hakotate. I hope I can return to my homeland soon. I'm pretty sure you will one day. Sorry about that sudden break. I thought that we were in a different region other than the Valley of Repose. It turns out that we were still in the same region. Sorry, sometimes I get a little too paranoid about certain things. But anyway, let's just keep moving, shall we? We're almost done here. Yellow Taste Tyrant. According to recent statistics, the elderly people on Hakotate love to eat sweets. Despite them, young people are eating all the spicy food they can get their hands on. Just like it, this artifact makes my mouth feel spicy. When I bring it back, it's sure to be all the rage with surly teens everywhere. Tonight, I think I'll practice signing autographs. Well, here's hoping it'll make you famous, Olimar. Also, I too crave mustard right about now. Maybe I'll get a hot dog and top it off with some ketchup and mustard. Just to savor the taste. Saliva tricks. When I crash landed on this planet, I got sick of eating only Hakotate noodles every day. This time is no different. We didn't have time to properly prepare some tasty provisions. I can't stop drooling when I look at this evocative object. Hungry explorers must learn to use their imagination in the absence of food. But you could still starve. Gherkin Gate. Staring at this symbol tantalizes my taste buds. I've never observed this before, but my sight and sense of taste appear to be connected. Perhaps this is some new kind of psychological advertising. I'll have to tell the ship about it. Interesting. I wonder if he actually knows what a pickle tastes like. Doubt it though. Alien billboard. There are several different patterns drawn on this object's surface. They appear to be characters or letters, but I can't make any sense of them. This is just an educated guess, but I wonder if this object is a kind of alien bulletin board. The size of the object seems about right for it. Maybe? Actually, it has a different purpose. Activity arouser. This strange object makes me want to dance. I can't fight it. Must dance. Hey, this isn't so bad. I've been packing on the pounds, and this could be a great way to get some exercise. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. And cue Justin Timberlake's music of Can't Stop the Feeling. That's just about the only song that I can think of dancing to.